Today begins the harrowing tale of adding a tuner to the new Rollback. The 7.3 powerstroke that's the most gutless thing on earth. I got a tuner from, is it DP tuner? We're going to stick that thing on and see if it'll, get with the program just a little bit better than it did before and make it a little bit safer so it kind of gets out of its own way. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Supposed to give us a little more horsepower. We're looking at maybe 100 horse. But we've got to get into the ECU, which is right there. So, I was hoping that was going to be a little easier, but it's not. Looks like the fuse panel may have to come out. All right, I guess we'll get to it. We're going to have to pull the plug off the other side here. Oh, hello. I need to do some cleaning on this too. Looks like a lot of cleaning, maybe. Yeah, that's for another day. All right, we got to get that cover off. Let's go grab some tools. We'll tear into this. But I think everything else is going to need to be done inside. And the way it sounds, you've got to start at the A-pillar and kind of work. It's like this is going to have to come off the A-pillar. I think the instrument cluster is going to have to come out, which is going to be fine because this row of lights has fallen out of there, or they took it out, something, I don't know, but I'd like to pull the dash out, clean it up, and get this put back in anyway. I don't remember if there's anything that's coolant levels, kind of important, brake pressure, oil and water. Yeah, this is probably needs to go back in. That's awesome. Our problem is that this PTO cable runs right underneath that. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get enough room to get this clear. And I do not want to pull the PTO cable because that would entail a terrible amount of work. Okay, I think I can get up in here and get that pulled off there. I'm gonna see if I can get that PCM out of there without having to pull this, which is probably not going to happen, but it's worth a shot. One more try. Whoops, it's going with the right side. Holy cow, what a nightmare. There, okay. Now, get my finger in there. Oh, wait, I think it moved. Oh, there we are. Yeah, okay. Did it? Oh yeah, it did. All right, now we can get maybe something else in. Oh, sweetness. Whew. Holy cow, what a pain in the rear. Now, is that not sure what holds that. Oh, come on. Yeah. This just has to swing over. That's what I thought it looked like, but there's so much crap in the way, mostly because of this stupid cable. Oh, wait, I think I got it. Maybe. Yep. There. Ah! Now. Ah. Oh, success! Ah. Well, I thought it was going to come out through there. Ah, there it is. Ah, holy cow. Now, there's definitely silicone over that. I can feel it. That is... I was warned that there was going to be silicone on there. And there is. Now, let's get some Scotch Brite or something. Taking a new roll-lock disc and go in there. I'm sure this is an approved method. Yeah. You can kind of feel when it's coming off, or when it's off. That silicone is so grabby, you can sure tell when it's not there anymore. It feels pretty good. Let's see if I can get this back side. Rag. Not feeling anything on the pins anyway. So, where? I think this is going to pin in just like that. Now, let's go fire it up and make sure it's going to run, and then we'll come back and we'll tape this up, do something anyway. That should work. I need to cover this with something so it doesn't, so nothing arcs against it. They say to put tape on it, which I guess that'll work. I'm going to stick some of this Gorilla Tape on there. I think a couple passes across there should be good. Might. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to be done, but that's how I did it, so it's gonna have to be good enough. Now, I think we can stick it back up in there, except we can't use the factory clamp, I guess. This thing must stick off the, oh yeah, it does. That thing sits on there tight. So you may have to round up some zip ties or something. We'll see what I got. course, I'll eat my shorts. Okay, so that was disappointing, I guess, to say the least. I'll have to check the Dragy out. I don't know what any of the numbers are. I suspect they're exactly the same because it sure felt just as slow as it did. There was no difference coming up the big hill. It just felt no different. Just kind of glancing at that Dragy as I was running it, 0 to 65. I didn't even get to 65 before the curve, and that was like a minute and 27 seconds. So I'm gonna say a minute and a half to 65 mile an hour is just a little too slow, just a touch. So I don't think I gained anything at all, but we'll shoot them an email here because it's Friday evening and the odds of anybody being around are slim and none. Oh, I'll shoot them an email, see what they have to say, because boy, seems like a lot of money for absolutely nothing at this point. So hopefully they have some suggestions. So maybe we can find something else to get this thing up where it'll, pull itself, short of putting another engine in. Because, I could, but I'd sure rather not. But I guess for right now, I may call this one done since I'm disheartened. So I had a bit of a think last night before I cracked off any emails, and I started looking online and seeing if anybody else had run into this issue of, no power. And all I could find were kind of complaints of no start issue. If it's not plugged in, if the pins aren't seated, then it won't start. I thought, well, that's not my issue, but I didn't have I couldn't see any indication of anybody having any trouble like this. So I thought, well, it is what it is. So in the morning, I came out to put fuel in this thing, and I went to start it. And when I got in, the first thing I noticed right off the bat, when I hit the key, my wait to start light didn't come on. Everything else worked. Gauges all swung up. It kind of acted like it was, supposed to. But I thought, well, all right. So I kicked out that bulb, or who knows what I did when I was screwing around with the instrument cluster. So I just kind of counted mentally like 10, 12 seconds or so and hit the key. Guess what? Wouldn't start. So tried that 2 or 3 times. It wouldn't engage. So I managed to get my hand finagled up under the dash there, and I actually pulled all the tape off and got the plug unplugged from the ECU, and then of course cracked right off. So I didn't show you any of that because it's really boring, because you've already seen me pull the dash apart. But I went ahead and yanked the dash back apart. I didn't have to pull the fuse panel and everything this time. I just pulled this corner bit off, got the ECU back out, and really went to town cleaning it this time. And I mean, I'm surprised I didn't wear through half of it. But anyway, got it back together, plugged it in, hit the key, the wait to start light came on, and it cracked off. I let it sit for 15 seconds or so, seemed like it was all right, shut it off, restarted, everything was fine. So I backed up and just drove it down the driveway just a little bit because I was kind of running out of time, and it felt way spunkier. So I think it's okay. So we're gonna get the little Dragy back on and go take this thing for a spin now and see if it's fixed or not. Crank this thing up. Again, the wait to start light works now, so this is the first start this morning. And it's about 36. So we'll let it build a little heat. I'll get a couple cameras set up and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to be a little more careful coming out of first gear because this wraps up way faster than it did before. And I don't have quite enough time to go from first to second there. Be a little more conscientious about that. Okay, ready?
Quarter mile. 60.
I think we'll call that one a success. I'm gonna have to look at the numbers. I'm not sure what it was doing, but it was way faster. Way faster. It's kind of tolerable now, so I think it'll be halfway usable. It was almost dangerous before because, you know, 0 to 60 in, what was it, a minute and a half is, even out here in the middle of nowhere, is terrifically slow, and trying not to hold up, you know, traffic was kind of a nightmare. So this will be way better. I don't know what it is 0 to 60. I haven't looked yet, but we'll go back in and run the numbers and see just what it did. I'll put them up. I'll probably put the runs up on here too. So yeah, so far fairly happy with it. Temp seems to be staying fine. Granted, you know, it's cold out and I'm not under any kind of a real load. I'm running empty, so it is what it is. I guess for the time being, we'll call this one done. Thank you for watching, and until next time, toodaloo.